To begin with, let's look at the problem we are solving. Hospitality businesses experience the struggle of trying to consistently provide great customer service without incurring a very high and unnecessary labour bill. Let's explain why. This graph represents customer demand on a typical day for a hospitality business. Sites are at their busiest for 2 to 3 hour periods, and to capitalise on these, you need to have enough staff working. But what does the rest of the day look like when you're not as busy? Well, the problem you have is that staff, understandably, need at least 7 to 8 hour shifts. Who's going to work for a 2 to 3 hour shift? No one. So if you choose to have the right number of staff when you're busy, your day actually ends up looking far more like this. You are able to provide the optimal level of service, but you have too many staff working during your quiet periods, and all of this ends up being money spent on unnecessary labour. Ultimately, the hours that you're busy don't match the hours that your staff want to work. It's an inherent problem in hospitality.
Everything the team has said so far is correct. It's always the dilemma of hospitality. If you want to provide the optimal level of service when you're busy, then you need to spend heavily on unutilized staff when you're quiet. So, as operators, what are we tempted to do instead? Well, one thing for sure is that if you are determined to maintain service standards, what doesn't work is trying to cut staff to a minimum. Because the ability to cope with the peak demand puts too much pressure on the team and inevitably compromises the quality of service and customer satisfaction. The more you attempt to save money, the more you're going to miss out on revenue. And, crucially, the more your reputation is damaged. Overstretched, stressed staff trying to give the necessary attention to frustrated customers is a recipe for disaster.
So we mentioned that your staff, understandably, won't work for these 2 to 3 hour shifts. Stint provides you with a specific workforce of university students who will work these short shifts. This means that you can have the right number of people working when you're quiet, keeping your labour costs low, but also have the right number of people working when you're busy, capitalising on trade and maximising sales. So how do we ensure the students do a good job? We know staffing agencies don't really work, so here's our spin on things. We look at all of the tasks in your business and we split them into the skilled ones and the straightforward ones. Your core team focus on the skilled tasks, doing what they're trained to do, serving customers and driving revenue, while the straightforward ones that require no training are taken care of by the students. Next, we work with you to integrate the students into your rota in the most optimal way. Our powerful matching technology means that you're sent the best workers for the job every time, and our smart rating system sees your favorite students returning time and time again. Every student is fully prepped before each stint, and we track their location to ensure that they arrive on time. The students are incentivized to do a great job because they want to get a high rating and continue using Stint.